Hey YouTube, how's it going? Some of you might be familiar with me, but if you're not, I'm Kate Spring, and I'm a dating and relationship coach from the West Coast of Canada. And in this video, I want to help your dating game in the conversation department. More specifically, I want to help you master small talk and explain some ways that you can learn how to control the conversation. Just before we get started, remember that if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you personally as soon as I can. There's something super sexy about a man who can dominate a conversation and can elevate it from ordinary to extraordinary in a matter of words. Typical small talk looks something like this. How are you? What do you do for work? Where are you from? Sadly, women and men too are too familiar with this boring line of questioning when they meet, the job interview type of questions. This kind of mind-dulling small talk comes from a place of nervousness, and when you're nervous in front of a hot woman and your brain turns to mush and your mouth starts spewing what you've been conditioned to understand as appropriate get-to-know-you banter. The problem here is that it doesn't excite a woman to get to know where you work either. However, there is an elevated version of small talk that you can master in order to get to know women quicker and in a more exciting way by just changing what you ask her. So thankfully, there are steps you can take to improve your small talk game and subsequently can take charge of the conversation. The first step is to approach the right woman. Don't go up to the woman that is a resting bitch face and her arms are crossed. That woman's body language is either saying, I have a boyfriend, or I'm not interested. Look for the girl in a group of people that's smiling, seems approachable, and has an open body posture, and is even looking around the room. That's someone whose attention you can capture. I know, small talk is a pain in the ass. Some people despise it and avoid it at all costs. But the good news is that the better you are at it, the easier it becomes, and the more powerful personality you will have. It's not only a key skill to master for dating, but it's also a skill worth having to be successful in all interpersonal relationships. Along with small talk is learning how to build attraction, and for more information on that, head over to katespring.com/free and get a copy of my attraction handbook for free. There you will learn how to build attraction through texting and body language. This will all help you in your conversations. And that's katespring.com/free, and I've posted a link in the description below to make your life a little easier. Alright, when you first approach a woman, do you think to yourself, wow, I wonder where that girl's from? Or, wow, I wonder what that woman does for work? The chances are that you approached her because something about her physically is attractive to you, and you'd like to start a conversation that makes her interested in getting to know you even better. The answers to the job interview questions don't really matter when you first meet her. You can find out her middle name and her childhood dog's name later on. But for now, when you first meet her, focus on getting to know her personality and what excites her, and having a conversation that will make her interested in talking to you again in the future. You know that person who says, I hate small talk? They're on the losing team, and they only dislike it because they're the worst perpetrators of mind-numbing small talk. Now for some conversation starter examples. Your goal in mastering small talk is to first get any girl's attention and keep it on you. That way you gain control of the conversation and subsequently the situation. This is the best formula to get the results that you want, and it's an entertaining way to get to know someone. Here's some example questions to ask a woman you just met. It's safe to start off with asking her name, and once you get through some of the niceties of chatting a woman up, you can start to ask her more interesting questions, and here are a couple of examples of that. So number one, you could ask her, what country would you most recommend that I visit? Or number two, if you could change anything about your childhood or how you were raised, what would it be? Before you make a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Number four, what does your perfect day look like? Or number five, when did you last sing to yourself or someone? Number six, if you had a superpower, what would it be? Number seven, is there something that you've dreamt of doing but you haven't yet, and why? And lastly, number eight, if money weren't an issue, what would you want to spend the rest of your life doing? Did you just try to answer some of those yourself? I did, and it's kind of entertaining. I think you learn a lot about yourself and a lot of people. You might be wondering what the benefits of having a conversation like this are, and I'm glad you're skeptical because these types of questions keep the conversation light, but they also allow you to get to know the girl and by answering them. You can learn about her bad habits, her childhood, where she's traveled, a lot of things that can help you to steer the conversation in any direction depending on what you ask her. There's nothing more uncomfortable than meeting someone and then moments later they tell you their entire life story in detail. When you ask a woman a question such as the ones above and then she answers, it's also important that you have a response. Don't make it like 20 questions where she answers and you're on to the next question. These are just conversation starters, so you don't have to use all of them. It's like a car. A car doesn't run without gas, and similarly, a conversation doesn't start without someone initiating it and steering it. Since you're in the driver's seat, it's important to stay there. You asked the first question and she answered, and hopefully some conversation has happened after. Once you get through questioning like this, she becomes more comfortable talking to you, being around you, and sharing with you. And this all happened in one meeting. And from here, you can pretty much drive the conversation in any direction. But the key thing is to remain in the driver's seat, and that is not to avoid her questions, but it is always how you deflect and pivot the conversation back to her by allowing her space to talk about herself, because everyone's favorite topic is themselves. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. But remember that you're in the driver's seat when you meet a woman, and memorize a few of those questions to have at the ready. You never know when you might meet the perfect woman. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel where you can stay up to date with my latest videos. And please don't forget to head over to katespring.com/free and get a free copy of my attraction handbook. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching.